So in our previous sessions, we have seen how we create releases and how we trigger releases also. If I'm not wrong, we are creating release in our first project, right? So if I go to first project and verify pipelines, releases, yes. So we got a sample release. We got a sample release. So in this release, even we created multi-stages as well. If I go to edit, so there are multi-stages. There are multi-stages. We have taken artifacts, okay? We have taken artifacts from a repository only. From a repository only. Today we will see how we take artifacts from a build pipeline and how we deploy this into an environment, a real-time environment. Now I will tell you, let me go to a project where I have multiple source codes. So in this repo, if I go to this, so this is okay. I'm telling you, this has a .NET website. This has a .NET website which has multiple pages, some content, some data, everything. Okay. So when I say that this is a .NET website, I cannot show you like this. I cannot show you like this. I can show you just the source code. But if I wanted to show you the actual website, I need to release this. I need to release this some environment by using our build pipelines and release pipelines. So generally what happens when you wanted to deploy into any environment, okay, straight away telling you guys, releasing into environment is nothing but you are going to install this application in the servers or machines which are categorized as a environment. If your company has 100 servers, they might be configured or they might be categorized those 100 servers 50 as production, 50 as non-production, or else 30 as dev environment, 30 servers as test environment, remaining 40 as production environment. Okay, environment is nothing but a collection of servers. If they are maintaining their applications in their local, so obviously then that will be collection of servers, I mean set of servers only. If they are maintaining their applications in the cloud, okay, there we have dual option. Either they can go for servers or they can go for serverless computing. Okay, serverless computing is again a big concept. Serverless means it's a PaaS. So if you remember our cloud class, so we have talked about three services. One is infrastructure as a service, another one is platform as a service, another one is software as a service. So infrastructure as a service will comes under servers. So when you wanted to deploy your application into servers, then you go for infrastructure as a service in cloud. But when you wanted to deploy your application on the cloud, you don't want to take any responsibility of the servers, then you will go for PaaS. Okay, you will deploy your application in PaaS services. So one of the famous PaaS service to deploy your application is app services. So now if I go to Azure portal, so if you don't have Azure account, I request you to create an Azure account. So Azure account is free for first 30 days. If you are creating new Azure account, as I told you, so this is the website azure.microsoft.com. So there is a direct button, free account. Okay, if you want to create a free account, you can create here. So you will get $200 as a balance. Okay, you will get $200 as a balance. For this $200, you can try anything in 1 month. Okay, this $200 will be there in your account for 1 month only. In 1 month, you can purchase any service. These all are services. So if I go to all services, see all services. These all are services. Again, these all are categorized: general, compute, networking, storage, mobile, databases. So every service has its own cost. If you create a first sample account, they will give you $200 as a credit. For $200, you can purchase anything within 1 month. If you don't use this $200 within 1 month, then it is waste. Okay, so today we will see how I am going to deploy my application. Sorry, before that I want to show you the app services. So as I said, if you want to maintain your application on your own, you will go for infrastructure as a service. When I say infrastructure as a service, virtual machines comes under IaaS, infrastructure as a service. But here I don't want to maintain the virtual machines. Why? Because if I install my application on the virtual machines, again I am the person who need to take care of all these missions. That is again time waste for me. Why? Because if my server is not responding, users will complain on my application. Your application was slow, so I am not able to access your application. Like this, all complaints will come. So further, to avoid those conditions or those situations, I will go for PaaS service. PaaS means serverless computing. You don't know what is the server, who is maintaining the server, but you are allowed to install your application. Your application will run without any interruption, 24 hours, 365 days. For that, I am choosing app services. Okay. So when I decided to deploy my application, okay, this is an application. I want to deploy this into app services. What I need to do? First, I need to create a app service in the cloud. First, I need to create an app service in the cloud. Okay, create app service. My Azure subscription was very old, so I already completed this 200 credit. Now whatever I create, I need to pay. That's why my subscription was paid subscription. Paid subscription. So inside Azure, okay, inside Azure, any resource, that you create should be under one resource group. Why? Because whatever resources you are creating, okay, whatever resource you are creating, Azure want you to maintain as a group. Azure wanted to maintain you as a group so that in future, if you want to select some resources for some reason, you will have all the resources under one group. You will have all the resources under one group. Let's say you have 3 teams. One team is in India, one team is in Europe, another team is in UK, sorry, US. So for India, you will have India resource group so that whatever persons working in India, they will create all the resources in India resource group only. If tomorrow, if you want to verify what is the bill for India resource group, what is the bill for India team, then you can directly verify the India resource group, how many resources created under India resource group, so that you can pay that. Okay. For now, I have multiple resource groups, so I will take one resource group, my sample group. Okay, my sample group, and my app service name will be, it should be unique, guys. Why? Because we are using public cloud. We are using public cloud. That means this is not for any company. This is open, public. Anybody can go and log in and use Azure services. So when you are logging with your corporate account or when you are using your company account, then there will be separate. There you can have their unique names, but here it is open. So you should always give a name. It's only for you, not for all. So now what I will do, I will give my name and I will add some number. See, now I got tick symbol. See, if I remove this number, so Rajesh is common name. It is not available. Rajesh is common name, it is not available. So I just want to make it unique. I will use some random. See, Rajesh 99. So it is available. I got a tick symbol. Now what I want to deploy, I want to deploy code only. I told you, right? Here I have all the code. I'm saying you that this is a website, but I can't show you here, but I can show you in app service. That's why I'm creating app service. So I want to deploy code. So runtime. What is the language you have developed this application? What is the language? Here, if you see, you can find out the language by going into the CS project. This is my CS project file. I mean C# project file. CS project means C# project. If I click on this, see, you will have a target framework. You will have a target framework. What it says? .NET Core 2.1. .NET Core 2.1. So here while creating, you can choose .NET Core. Oh, .NET Core 2.1 is deprecated, guys. So I will go for .NET Core 3.1. Okay. .NET Core 2.1 is deprecated. This application was very old application, guys. If you see even the history, if I go to history, it was created September 6, 2020, almost 1 year ago application. Okay, almost 1 year ago application, very old application. So that time they created in .NET 2 Core 2.1, but in Azure, .NET Core 2.1 is deprecated. So they are giving .NET Core 3.1. It supports, so I can choose .NET Core 3.1. So operating system, Windows. Operating system, Windows. Why? Because this is .NET application. .NET applications will run fine in Windows. You can choose Linux also, but Windows is the suggested operating system for .NET applications. So even though I am in India, okay, even though I am in India, I can host my application anywhere in the world. That is the plus point of cloud. Okay, even though I'm in India, I can host my application anywhere in the world. So I feel US data centers are fine, they work better. Okay, US data centers are fine and they work better. So I will host my application in US. Let's say I will go for South Central US. Okay, South Central US. South Central US. So now Windows plan. Okay, Windows plan. App service plan. So app service plan. Why? Because I have chosen Windows. So this is Windows plan. Then the size. If you click on the change size button, you will see different sizes. So for development and test environment, this is the suggested environments. For production, this is the suggested. So what is different between development and test? See, an application maybe any size, generally it will be developed by either 10 developers or 100 developers or maximum 1000 developers. Okay, 10 or 100 or 1000. Let's consider Flipkart application. Okay, Flipkart application has 200 people of development team. Okay, Flipkart application has 200 people of development team. ఓకే, అంటే ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ అప్లికేషన్స్ ని ఒక 200 మెంబర్స్ ఉన్న టీము డెవలప్ చేస్తూ ఉంది. బట్ ఇన్ ద యాక్చువల్ మార్కెట్, హౌ మెనీ ఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ అప్లికేషన్? ఇట్స్ మిలియన్స్. ఓకే, ఇట్స్ మిలియన్స్, నాట్ 100 or not 1000, 1 lakh. They are millions. If you go to Play Store and if you see Flipkart downloads, okay, just I will I want to manage just one thing. Okay, like this. Here also we can see those values. Okay, think for Chrome it is not available, but in general it may be available. But I will show you something which I am using. Do something. If I click on this, see what is the user count here? It's 10 million plus.
Yes.
It's 10 million plus. So even I am also using this, I believe. Yeah, ad block. So ad block. So whenever I'm browsing any websites, some websites will have multiple ads. So to block those ads, I use this extension. See, users are 10 million, but the developers will be either 50 or 100 or maximum 1000. 1000 మంది డెవలప్ చేసిన అప్లికేషన్ ని బయట మార్కెట్ లో మోర్ దాన్ 10 lakhs. It's not even 10 lakhs, 10 million guys. 10 million means 1 crore. 10 million means 1 crore. This is 10 million plus. So that's why when you are choosing your environment, when you wanted to deploy your application, so if the user count is less, okay, if the user count is less, then you can go for dev or test environment. Dev or test environment. The user count is more, that is production environment. So you need to go for higher. You can see that the spaces also available. See, for dev and test environment, the maximum size is 7 GB memory only. 1 GB, 1 GB, 1.75, 3.5, 7 GB. 7 GB. And the total highest count is 400 ACUs. 400 ACUs. But if you go to production, the second one itself 7 GB. Then 14 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB. Yeah. So 32 GB is the maximum. 32 GB is the maximum. And you can see 8 virtual core CPUs and the cost for month is 73,000. 73,000. So these all are paid versions. So they will give you high availability. They will give you high availability. Okay. So now if I go to, I wanted to do this for test purpose only. I am deploying my application just for test purpose only. So I will go for test environment and I will choose free one. See, these all are paid ones. 683 rupees, 3,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees, 7,000 rupees. So I will choose free one. Why? Because I'm doing it for test purpose only. This is free, select, apply. So I got my plan free. So then deployment. So there is no continuous deployment. I'm disabling it. Okay. Then yeah. So monitoring, I don't want any monitoring right now. Why? Because this is not production environment. If this is production environment, then obviously I need to monitor this. Why it is running slow, why it is not opening. For no need. So no tags. Okay, no tags. So everything looks good. Okay, everything looks good. We can create it. So create. This is deploying right now. Okay, this is deploying right now. Just a second. So this is all about cloud. Okay, we are not into DevOps portal. For last 10 minutes, we worked completely in cloud portal. So in the market, people will say, when you are engineer of Azure DevOps, okay, when you are engineer Azure DevOps, obviously they will expect you that you know something in Azure as well. As this is Azure, this is Azure DevOps. Both are two different platforms. Okay, both are two different platforms. Don't mix Azure with Azure DevOps. Or even I will say, don't separate Azure from Azure DevOps. When you are working in Azure DevOps, definitely you will involve in Azure work. See, now I am in Azure DevOps, but when they asked me to deploy this application into app service, I only went to the Azure portal. I created the app service. Okay, so these all things may be requested by, may be requested to you only by your company. So tomorrow when you join any organization, they will ask you, Rajesh, can you please create an app service? I want to deploy this into app service. So you should know Azure portal and some of the Azure services and how to create those resources. Okay, and how to create those resources. So that's why I asked you, go and create a Azure subscription. Okay, go and create here. Go and create an Azure account. You will get free subscription. You can try something within 1 month. Okay, within 1 month. Now, if you see, my app service is created. Okay, see, Rajesh 929. This is app service. Okay, this is app service. And the status is running. And the status is running. This is located in South Central US. So this is my paid subscription. So I have to pay. I have to pay. Now, this is the URL of my website. App service is nothing but a website. Okay. App service is nothing but a website. But for now, this website will have a sample page given by Microsoft. If I click on this, see, hey, app service developers, your app service is up and running. Your app service is up and running. Now this is time to take the next step and deploy your code. Okay, this is a sample page given by Microsoft. This is not my page. This is not my page. So what are all applications I can deploy? Node.js, Python, PHP, Java, Ruby, .NET Core. These are some of the languages only. There are many languages, but these are the some of the languages only. Okay. Now I have my application in .NET Core. Now I have my application in .NET Core, and I have the entire application code in Azure DevOps. I have the entire application code in Azure DevOps. Well, what I need to do? I need to deploy this code. I need to deploy this code. For that, first what I need to do? First I need to build this code. First I need to build this code. Okay, just a second. This is not required. So I want to delete this. Yeah. Okay, first I need to build this code. Now what we will do? We will go from initial step. So there are many. Oh my God. I think there are some continuously. There are some CIs enabled. So whenever I do some change in the source code, immediately the pipelines will run. Immediately the pipelines will run. I don't want to waste time here. I will create a new pipeline. Okay, I will create a new pipeline. So just a second, guys. I want to cancel this. Cancel. Yes. If I'm not wrong, this is not required as well. Yeah, this is just for the status. So I'm deleting this complete pipeline itself. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, you are failed. So why you failed? Just a second, guys. No need. Okay. Now I want to deploy. Okay, whatever code I have, I want to deploy into this app service. For that, what I need to do? First, I need to build the code. We are using classic editor, so we are not yet into YAML. I will explain you what is YAML later. So if you remember, I need to verify where is the code. I need to verify where is the code. So that code is in sample project.NET Core repo, and the branch is in release. There are many branches. but I will use release. Now if I go here, sample project.NET Core, and the branch will be a release. Okay, continue. I already know what is the code inside this repository. So I can choose a template. There are many templates. So I can choose a template. So what is my .NET? I mean, what is my application code? It's .NET Core. So I have a template here. See, build and test ASP.NET Core web applications. Okay, build and test ASP.NET Core web application. So I can simply choose this template, apply. See, because of the template, I no need to create any task. I got all the tasks readily available. I got all the tasks readily available. I just need to select what is the agent I wanted to run. So I will run Windows agent only. I will run Windows. Why? Because this is .NET application. So .NET application will be built easily in Windows. Built easily in Windows. Okay. Now there are no errors. So if there are any errors, let's say if I remove this, not this, if I remove this, so then there are some errors. But for now, there are no errors. Everything looks good. Okay, everything looks good. I'm good. So I can build, save and queue. So I can save and queue. Let's save first build. Okay, this is first build. Save and run. Save and run. Now it takes a minute or time. But I believe this is first time, right? It may take more time. See, you got first warning. You got first warning. What is that warning? So while creating this build pipeline, okay, while creating this build pipeline, in the agent section, I have chosen Windows 2016. Windows 2016. But here Microsoft saying that the Windows 2016 environment will be deprecated on November 15, 2021. That means in next 15 days, this will not be available. After November 15, today we are in November 1st. After November 15, this environment will not be available and this will be completely removed on March 15, 2022. So first they will deprecate and then they will completely remove. So they are suggesting us to go for migrate to Windows latest. Migrate to Windows latest. So these all are remaining warnings. So no need to worry about warnings. There are many warnings. Okay. These all are because of I'm using very old application. I already told you I'm using .NET Core 2.1. See, everything is done. It is succeeded. It is succeeded. See, so this is the one. I have chosen Windows 2016. That's why will be deprecated in November 15. So you want to see, I will show you here. If I go to edit pipeline, so this is the one. Windows 2016. So if you see, after Windows 2016, there are two new latest ones. Windows 2019, Windows 2022 also came. So that's the reason they are asking, don't go for Windows 2016. We have 2019, even 2022 also readily available for you. So stop using 2016, go for latest. Okay, go for latest. That's what the warning. So when it is warning, no need to worry. Warnings, no need to worry because they will not stop your build pipeline. Warnings will not stop your build pipeline. So anyway, restore success, build success. See, 3 warnings, but ultimately build succeeded. Okay, test. Why? Because there are no test formats. Publish done. Okay. Publish done. Publish artifacts. It's already done. It will be available here. So if you want to see the drop, okay, if you want to see the drop, I will show you here. So here we have artifacts. If I go back and see, here we have artifacts. So this is the drop. So inside the drop, all your code, okay, all your code, whatever code you have in this all files, okay, in this all files was zipped, okay, was zipped and included into one of the files inside this. Included into one of the files. Inside this, there are many files. If you want to see this, we can download this. So if you go here, download artifacts. The artifacts are downloaded. So if I go to downloads, open, see there are many files. There are many files. There are many files. So I think in our previous sessions, I asked you, I told you for Java files, the output will be .jar. Here for .NET applications, the output will be DLL. If you see application extension and the extension is .dll. This is application extension .dll. This is also application extension .dll. .dll means dynamic link library. So DLL is the output format of .NET application, whereas .jar, jar or var is the output format of Java applications. You see, there are many files. All these files are included in this folder. Now my code was built and artifact is ready. Now I want to deploy this application into this environment. Okay, I have Rajesh 929 app service. And when I open this app service, this is showing some website which is not mine. This website is not mine. This was owned by Microsoft. This is Microsoft website, not my website. Now I want to deploy my website. So I'm done with pipeline. I need to create a release pipeline. So build pipeline is ready. Okay, build pipeline is ready. This is the build pipeline name and it is ready. Now I want to create a release pipeline. Let's go for next page. Next, go for next page. So here I have many releases. Here I have many releases. I will create a new one. I will create a new one. Okay. So where I want to deploy my application, again here also I have option to select a template. So where I want to deploy my application, I want to deploy my application into Azure App Service. Clear, right? I want to deploy my application into Azure App Service. So I have a template available. I have a template available. So deploy your application to Azure App Service. Choose from web app on Windows or Linux. If you remember, I created app service on Windows. So this suits my requirement. This template suits my requirement. So I will select this template, apply. So when it comes to deployment, you can deploy into multiple stages. In our previous session, we have already seen how to create stages. So for now, as I told, I am doing this for testing. So I will name this as test or testing. Okay, or testing. See, there are some error. There are some error. Go here. See, it is asking some settings need attention. So what are all the settings? The template you have chosen was deploy into Azure App Service. Okay. We selected a template which says you can deploy into Azure App Service. But what is the Azure App Service name? Where is the app service located? These are all the details you need to give. That's what it is asking. See, Azure subscription, you need to give some subscription. Azure App Service name, you need to give the app service name. So those are the details it is missing. Now here I will say, I already connected my Azure App Service. I already connected my Azure subscription. So how to connect your Azure subscription with your Azure DevOps? For that, Go to project settings. So here I am getting some names, right? I will remove all these names. Go to project settings. Under pipelines, okay, under pipelines, you will have a section called service connections. See here you can see service connections. The name says service connections. Okay, service connections. So service connections means Azure DevOps is a separate platform. Okay, Azure DevOps is a separate platform. When you wanted to work with another platform, that may be Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, Jenkins, SonarQube, anything, Bitbucket, Docker, anything. So when you wanted to work with another platform, first you need to connect them. So you need to connect Azure DevOps with Azure. You need to connect Azure DevOps with Bitbucket. You need to connect Azure DevOps with GitHub, any other service. See here, by seeing the logos, you will understand. This is AWS, this is Bitbucket, this is Docker, this is GitHub, this is Sonar Cloud. Now I have a Azure subscription. I have Azure subscription. What I will do, I will delete this. Okay, for now I will delete this. Okay, and then I will delete this also. So this is also Azure only. I will delete this also. These are all very old ones. That's why I'm seeing some errors while working on this. Yeah, now if you see, there is no Azure connection in my project. Now if I go here, refresh, okay, refresh, and if I drop down, see under Azure service connections, there is nothing. Okay, under Azure service connections, there is nothing. Now again, what I will do, I will create a service connection, new service connection. Okay, new service connection. I want to go for Azure. Okay, Azure Resource Manager. Next. Service principal automatic recommended. Yes. Next. See, it is loading subscriptions. So what is loading subscriptions? Okay, what is loading subscriptions? Because let me do this. Here you can see my account is rajeshkumar.muddamsetti@outlook.com. Okay, and going back to here. Here also my account is same rajeshkumar.muddamsetti@outlook.com. So I am using same account so that when I wanted to create a service connection, okay, when I wanted to create a service connection, it will fetch automatically. Okay, it will fetch. See, when I select Azure Resource Manager and click on next, I am choosing automatic. Why? Because both accounts are same. Both accounts are same. If accounts are different, I need to choose manual. Next, I need to give subscription ID, subscription name, everything. Service principal ID, service principal key, tenant ID, everything. But if I go for automatic, and even that is the recommended way, even that is the recommended way. For that, see, if you wanted to use this automatic way, you need to create your Azure account with the same account which you are using. With the same account which you are using, then only it will work. Okay, here I'm using service principal automatic. Next, now it will fetch the details automatically. See, it got the subscription ID automatically. Now, and it will fetch all the resource groups names. See, it got all the resource group names. I think something. Why it is taking so much time to bring the service groups names, I mean resource group names. Just a second. Okay, now new service connection. Next. Yeah. See, I deleted the service connection completely, right? So I deleted the service connection completely. So when I'm trying to connect again, obviously it will ask me to log in into the Azure portal. Obviously it will ask me to log into the Azure portal. These are my Azure credentials. Yes, done. Yeah. So my login done. Now see, it got all the resource group names. Earlier I have not logged in, that's why it is not getting the list. So if you remember where we created our app service. So where is our app service? That is in my sample group. That is in my sample group. So here we are seeing the name, right? So there is small S difference, guys. I have two groups, my samples group and my sample group. But if you verify, it is my sample group only. So I am selecting my sample group. Okay, done. Now you need to give a name for this service connection. This is a service connection, right? You need to give a name. I will give Azure Connect or else clearly Azure Portal Connect. Why? Because I am connecting to Azure Portal from Azure DevOps itself. I am not going to Azure Portal. So grant access to all pipelines. Why? Because in future, if someone creates some other pipeline, they don't want to do this work again. So that's why I'm doing grant access to all pipelines. Okay, save. Save. So our service connection name is Azure Portal Connect, right? So remember this name, Azure Portal Connect. Yeah, see Azure Portal Connect created. Usage history, nothing. So Azure Portal Connect. Now, if I go to release pipelines, refresh this, you will see Azure Portal Connect. We got Azure Portal Connect. Select this Azure Portal Connect. Okay, done. So scoped to my sample group. Okay, scoped to my sample group. So I already connected to Azure Portal. Now, if you see, if I drop down, obviously I will see the Rajesh 929. Why? Because in my Azure portal, if I go to app services, there is only one app service. There is only one app service. If I have multiple, then obviously I will see drop down here. There is only one. There is only one. That's why I'm seeing only one. Okay, Rajesh, done. Now, if you see, there are no errors. Earlier, there are errors. If I remove this, see, there are errors. Some settings need attention. So there are some errors. When I select the right app service, done. Okay, all errors are gone. Okay, all errors are gone. Okay, now coming back to pipeline. So you want to deploy something into this app service. You want to deploy something into app service. But from where you will get that? From where you will get that? That is nothing but artifact. You are already chosen. I mean, you have already seen where is the artifact? That is here. This is the artifact. Just observe the screen. When I open this, actually there is a name called artifact there, but immediately it is changing into the path. See artifact. Say clear, right? So this is artifact location. As the pipeline is already run and the pipeline is succeeded, it is giving the link to the location, but in actual, that is artifact. See artifact. Okay, we have artifact in this pipeline. We have artifact in this pipeline. This is the pipeline name. So now what I need to do? I need to add an artifact. Add an artifact. So where is my artifact? So these are the multiple types. Where is my artifact? My artifact is in a pipeline. That is nothing but build pipeline. So I selected build, and this is the project name. What is the pipeline name? Yeah, I think this is the pipeline name. Sample project .NET Core ASP.NET Core CI, right? Yes. So it always better to choose latest version. It always better to choose latest version. So if you are specific that you have a version you need to deploy, you can choose specific version. Right now, this pipeline ran only once. This pipeline ran only once. That's why I will see only one version. Only one version. If I select other pipelines, let's say I have this pipeline. I have this pipeline, sample.NET Core CI, and I will choose some specific version. Some specific version. I have multiple versions. Sorry, this is also only one only. Let's say yeah, my sample build. Okay, if you take my sample build and if I go for a specific version, there are many versions. There are many versions. So generally what happens, they will tell you which version they wanted to deploy. Okay, they will tell you which version they wanted to deploy so that you can select the specific version. So specific version. If they don't tell you the specific version, it always good to go with latest. It always better to go with latest. If they tell you what is the exact version, then select the specific version and select the version number. Select the version number. So, but here this is not our pipeline. Our pipeline is this one. And there are no multiple versions. We have only one version. So even if I go for a specific version, there is only one version. But I will go with latest only. Why? Because in future, if someone runs this pipeline, in future, if someone runs this pipeline, then the version will be changed. But here I might have selected the old version and someone will come back to me and they will say, hey man, I have changed something in the code, but still I am seeing the old changes. Why? Because you have selected the old version to deploy. It will deploy every time the old version only. So when you select latest, it will always deploy the latest versions only. So I selected latest, add. If I select this, you can see the drop name, right? You can see the drop name. So it already selected the drop. So where is our artifact? Our artifact also in the drop only. That is in the drop only. Okay, done. So I have selected an artifact. I have created an environment. Everything is ready. Now I need to save this pipeline. Here you will have, here you might have seen the options called save, save and queue. But here you will see only save button only always. Once you save, then you will see the create release button. For now it is disabled. First you need to save. Save. I will just say first release only. Cancel. I want to deploy. Deploy to Rajesh 929. Okay, deploy to Rajesh 929. Full name. Okay, deploy to Rajesh 929 app service. Okay, save. Release. Okay, now it is saved. Now it is saved. Now it is just saved only. It's not ran. Now you need to run it. Further, you need to create a release. Your release pipeline is saved, but you are not releasing it. Now you are releasing it. So create release. See, we have only one stage. That's why I got one stage. If I had multiple stages, I will see multiple stages here. Okay, I will see multiple stages here. See, While creating the artifact, I selected latest only, but here it got the latest version number. Here it got the latest version number. So now I am selecting create. Here you can see the message, release has been created. Release has been created. If I click on this link, now it is queued. Now it is queued. Why? Because it has to get some server. It has to get some server from Microsoft to run all these tasks. To run, yeah, now it got the server. So service connection clear, right? So we have created a service connection between Azure DevOps and Azure portal. With that only, we are able to see this app service name in Azure portal. I mean, sorry, in Azure DevOps portal. To select Rajesh 929, we are not going to Azure portal. We went to Azure portal and we created. Remember, guys, here if you see, we have the old website. I mean, whatever website given by Microsoft. Once the deployment completes, okay, once the deployment completes, you will see the actual website which was developed by us. So for now, I am closing the settings. We already connected with Azure portal. So let's keep this app service. It will be running. So this is running, located in South Central US, and we have selected free version because of testing. We are doing testing only. So we no need to have a paid version. See, deploy Azure app service. Now it is deploying all the code. Now it is deploying all. If I go to logs, you can see the steps. See, first it will download the artifact. First it will download the artifact, then it will deploy. Okay. So here also same warning. We have chosen Windows 2016. So it will be deleted. I mean, it will be deprecated from November. Okay, we are allowed to use until November 15, no problem. Now, okay, now remember this URL. I will duplicate this website. I will duplicate this website. Now I am refreshing this. Now I am refreshing this. See, what is the website you are seeing? This is my website. This is my website. So I developed this website. If you want to see myapp.web. Here you can see myapp.web. Okay, myapp.web. And I will show you. If I go to views, home, contact page. So what is there in the contact page? Microsoft Corporation, Redmond, Seattle, US, 1800100100. Okay, now if I go to this page, contact, see, Microsoft Corporation, Redmond, Seattle, 18000100. Clear? So this is my website. Here if I show you that this is a contact page, you will not understand. Ana ఏంటన్నా కాంటాక్ట్ పేజ్ అన్నారు ఏం కనపడుతుంది ఇందులో అని. But when I deploy this application, okay, when I deploy this application to the environment, there you will see all this. This is home page. Here you can see this is home page. Index is nothing but home page. See, home page. See, all buttons. Home page will have all the links. Then about us page. About page. See about page. See about page. So your application description page. See. Okay, yeah, I added this one. So I added this message to trigger CI/CD. See, I added this message to trigger CI/CD. This message was added to check the latest CI and CD. See, this message was added to latest. Everything is. So when I show you like this, you will ask me, where is this web page, bro? There is nothing. But when I deploy into some environment, so here the environment is in cloud, guys. Here the environment is in cloud. What if I wanted to deploy this into my local server? Why? Because Azure is not free. Azure is not free. For now it is free. Why? Because we have selected testing. But what if I wanted to deploy into local server? So when I say deploy to local server means that is nothing but deployment groups. Okay, when I say deploy to local means that is nothing but deployment groups. That is nothing but deployment groups. So tomorrow we will see how you can enable continuous integration and continuous deployment. Okay. Tomorrow we will see how we can enable continuous integration and continuous deployment. And even we will see how to deploy into local servers by using deployment groups. How to deploy into local servers by using deployment groups. Until now, clear, right, guys?
Yes.
So this is the major purpose of pipelines. Generally, what happens? Developers will write hundreds of lines of code. So if you see the code, you will not understand. If you just see the code, you will not understand. Here, if you go to, so these are all the web pages. These all are web pages, but you will not understand. But you will not understand.
ఆ కోడ్ వాళ్ళే ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తారు కదా.
Everything. See, code is responsibility of developers.
Yes, yes.
But that's why I always tell you, you need to work closely with developers. As a DevOps engineer, you need to work closely with developers. Why? Because when you are, if you remember, when I'm creating pipelines, I selected templates. How I selected templates? Because I know what is there inside the code. మీరు చూసారంటే నేను క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు .NET Core టెంప్లెట్ సెలెక్ట్ చేశాను. బిల్డ్ పైప్లైన్ లో, రిలీజ్ పైప్లైన్ లో Azure App Service టెంప్లెట్ సెలెక్ట్ చేశాను. So how I made this? Because I know what is there inside the code and I know where I need to deploy. These all details you will get it from development team. So that's why I always used to tell my students, you need to work closely with the development team. So then only you will understand what is the requirement, how to create building pipeline and where they want to deploy. So when they ask you to deploy, if they ask you to deploy into app service, then you need to ask them. So is the app service already created or you need to create? And when it is already created, is there any service connection between Azure DevOps and Azure? If there is no service connection, tell me, I will create the service connection. Why? Because being a DevOps engineer, you know how to create service connections. So if there is no service connection, tell me, I will create. If there is already service connection, tell me the service connection name. Okay?
Yeah, okay, bro.
Tomorrow we will see how to deploy into local and we will see how to enable CI/CD. Actually, what is the actual purpose of CI/CD? Tomorrow I will show you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, bro. Thank you.